Hello, Assalamu alaikum class. I hope that you all are fine. In today's class, we are going to discuss our grammar topic, tenses. In grammar, tenses is a category that expresses time reference with reference to the moment of speaking. Or you can say, tenses are usually manifested by the use of a specific form of verbs. There are basic 12 English tenses. You can say that word tenses tell us how an action relates to the flow of time. Verb comes in three types, that is past, present and future tense. Well, we use past to describe things that have already happened. For example, yesterday, last week, year ago, and so on. Whereas the present tense is used to describe things that are happening right now, or you can say the things that are continuing. Well, the future tense describes things that have yet to happen. For example, later, tomorrow, next week, 3 years from now. Well, tenses play a crucial role in the English language. It denotes the time an action takes place, whether sometimes in the past, in the present, or will take some time in the future. As we all know that tenses has two aspects. One is according to time, that is whether it's past, present or future, while the second aspect is while, according to habit, repetition of the work, according to duration or according to completion of the tasks, we can identify the tense. Now if we talk about more specification, so we can say time can be divided into three areas. First, we have past, use time before the current moment, or you can say indicates an action that took place before the present moment and that has no real connection with the present time. The next we have now, or you can say present. It relates to the current moment of the time. Or you can say that present tense indicates an action that is generally true or habitual. That is, it took place in the past, continue to take place in the present, and will take place in the future. Basically, this tense is used to denote a habitual action or to generate journal truth, a future event that is part of a fixed timetable, for instance. Next we have the future tense. Well, the future tense basically explains the time after the current moment. Means that indicates an action that will take place after the present time and that has no real connection with the present time. As you can see on the screen, tenses are further divided into two categories on the basis of basic verb tense and the advanced verb tense. Well, there are six basic verb tense. First we have present continuous. Present continuous tense basically indicates an action that is taking place at the moment of speaking. Next we have present simple. Present simple tense basically indicates an action that is generally true or habitual. Third, we have past continuous. Basically, past continuous indicate an action that is going on at some point in the past, or an action in the past that is longer in duration than another action in the past. Well, if we talk about the past simple, so past simple basically indicates an action that took place before the present moment and that has no real connection with the present time. Fifth, we have the future continuous tense. Basically, future continuous tense indicate an action in the future that is longer in duration than another action in the future. And the last one, that is future simple. So future simple tense basically indicate an action that will take place after the present time and has no real connection with the present time. Well, now let's discuss the 6 advanced verb tenses. So firstly, we have the present perfect tense. Present perfect tense indicate an action that has been completed, or you can say sometime before the present movement, with a result that affect the present situation. The second we have is present perfect continuous. Well, in present perfect continuous indicate an action that is started in the past and is continuing at the present time. Third, we have the past continuous tense. Well, past continuous tense basically indicates an action on at some time in the past, or an action in the past that is longer in duration than the another action in the past. Same as that, the past perfect continuous, there is a little change in that, indicates an action in the past that took place before another time, or you can say or even in the past, and continue during the second event or time point in the past. Well, the second last we have the future perfect tense. Well, future perfect tense basically indicates an action in the future that will have been completed before another time or event in the future. Now let's discuss the last of the 6 advanced verb tense is the future perfect continuous. Well, future perfect continuous indicate an action in the future that will have been continued until another time or event. Okay class, I hope that the basic definition of the 6 advanced and the basic tenses is clear to you all. Now let's move forward and get started with the basic tenses to learn more about in detail about the tenses and discuss their examples. So let's get started. First, we have the present continuous, or you can say present progressive sentence. Basically, this sentence indicate action that is taking place at the moment of speaking, not the past, not the future, but talking about the current movement. For example, I am going to the college. They are making a basketball ground. Alex is leaving for Portugal tomorrow. Now, if you see the example in detail, so we have he is walking. Means he is walking. We are talking about the current situation that he is walking. Let's see the next example. He is exercising. Means right now he is doing exercise. He is exercise as we speak about the current situation that he is exercising. If you see the structure of present continuous tense, so present continuous tense basically formed by adding is, am, are plus first form of verb plus ing. Now, if we talk about the present simple tense, so present simple tense basically refers to the action that are generally true or habitual. The action does not necessarily take place at the actual moment of speaking. Now, let's see an example. He walks to work. Means it is generally the case that he walks to work. Means he daily used to go to work. He walked to work in the past, he walked in the present, and he will go in the future too. Now let's see the next example. He exercises. Means he habitually do exercise. He exercised in the past, he exercised in the present, and he will do exercise in the future too. Well, if you notice the structure of the present simple tense, so it is formed by adding first form of verb plus s, or you can say es. Now, if you see on the screen, here are some more examples for you. The form of simple present tense is just the bare infinitive without to, marked for person and number. We use the present simple tense for singular or plural. Like I walk, you walk, he walks, she walks. Next we have the past continuous tense. Well, the past continuous tense basically indicates an action in the past that was happening during and is longer in duration than another action in the past. For example, he was walking. Did you notice that here we use the word verb was with the sentence past continuous? Now, let's see the next example of the past continuous tense. Here we have, he was sleeping at 3 o'clock. Well, class, we use was with the singular person, whereas we use were with the plural person. Now, if you notice the structure of the past continuous tense, so the past continuous tense was formed by adding verb was or were plus first form plus ing, whereas in present continuous tense we add is, am, are in place of was and were. We always use was and were with the past tense. Now, if we compare the present versus past continuous tense, so we can easily see the difference between two sentences. In present continuous tense, a time or another action is implied in the meaning, that is right now at the moment of speaking, whereas in past continuous tense, this time point has been explicitly marked by the means of either a prepositional phrase of time or clause of time when it started in the past. Next we have the past simple tense. Well, the past simple tense indicate an action that took place before the current moment and has no real connection with the current time. Now, if we see the example of past simple, the raven flew to Damon's house. This action took place in the past, is finished, and is completely unrelated to the present. Now let's see another example. The fox ran away an hour ago. Did you notice that we make past tense by adding second form of verb? Here you can see on the screen that we use the second form flew and ran in this sentence to representing that there are some irregular past form of verb. Now if we talk about the basic 5 sentence of verb, that is future continuous. Well, future continuous tense indicate an action in the future that will be happening during and will be longer in the duration than the action in the future. For example, he will be walking when it starts to rain. Let's see the next example. He will be sleeping at 3 o'clock indicates that an action in the future that is longer in duration than a point of time in the future. We always use will and shall with the future tense. Future tense will be formed by adding will, shall plus first form of verb. If you notice that the continuous tense or the name suggests are continuing during their respective tenses, that is, there is an ing added to the verbs. Now, if we talk about the last of 6 basic types of tenses, we have the future simple. Future simple tense indicates an action that will take place after the current moment that has no real connection with the current time. For example, he will walk home means that sometime in the future after now he will walk to home. Future simple tenses are formed by adding will or shall plus first form of verb. Well class, I hope that this 6 all basic types of tenses is clear to you all. We were going to start with the advanced sentence in our next class. See you till then. Allah Hafiz. Take care of yourself.